Hello, this is ancient art and crystal fossils. I'll explain why I'm wearing a mask first. A lot of the stuff I've learned and was taught and shown, and I'm a member of the Choctaw tribe, so a lot of my other traditions that come from the tribes too have a lot different understanding of what rocks are made out of or from, more comparable to the Bible than to science. And so today I was going to show you some of the artifacts that I've gathered that I know of from the tribes and from areas and stuff. And but I also I went to college for geology and archaeology, and one of the things you learn when you're going to college stuff is that about 80% of the rocks that you see are made from come from an organic beginning. And they say organic so that you think maybe plants and ferns and all that kind of stuff. But uh, my understanding from the tribes and from my own studies is that that's maybe 40% of that is from plants and such. The other 40% is from all the animals that inhabited that world that got flooded. I mean, if the whole world got flooded, imagine now if the whole world got flooded. Millions of people. So you times that times 20 digits, because each person has 10 fingers, 10 toes, times 20 million, you get, and that's a lot. And so you do that with ears, you do that with eyes, and you imagine a 2 mile wave going over the earth, covering it, and people are running from it. So as they run, this wave is going over them, popping them like balloons. And the easiest access for your body to get rid of its fluids and organs, if you were running, would be the pressure would start from the feet up. So the last thing that would have pressure is your head. And the easiest way for, like the laws of water flows the easiest, so does pressure. It'll go out the easiest exit. And unfortunately, you have two holes right here in your skull. So when you get compressed like that, all your organs and your eyeballs pop out. So imagine all 20 million people's eyes times two. So 400 million eyeballs somewhere in this ancient world. And as the tribes see it, and as I see it from their histories, our stories start that there's a flash of light. And then our spirit animals came into being and stuff. And that's what the Catholic Church has destroyed most of them during the colonies wars and stuff, and which is good. We had started worshiping them as gods instead of just lesser spirits, because they were totally petrified, which can happen, as we know. In St. Helens blew up, it petrified most of the forest instantly. And there's pictures of it, like when the nuclear bomb goes off, you see the tree, and then you see like a shadow come out of it, and then poof, gets swarmed over. Well, that shadow is all the water in that tree being moved 2 feet to the right from that blast, from the sound. And then when the physical effect hits them, of course, that's when it knocks over and everything. But when the sound hits them, it pushes all that water out and petrifies it. Well, now if there was a deer eating grass by that tree, wouldn't it be petrified too? If there was a squirrel in that tree, wouldn't it? Well, that's how we got our spirit animals. That we had a deer, a turtle. There's a few of them, and they were complete because they were in the process of living when they got hit by that, and so we worshipped them after a while because of they were crystal creatures, godlike, amazing. Well, unfortunately, so the church destroyed a lot of them, and thank God, because we shouldn't have been. But I'm going to show you some of our tribe's artifacts, and when you go to a beach or a river next time, you need to understand what you're walking upon. You're not just walking on lava rocks made from earth formations or nature. It's a lot more complicated than that. I mean, we've all seen movies with volcanoes, all of us, correct? And when it spews out, it's red hot river, and on the sides you see these black or red rocks with a bunch of holes in them. Every movie does that with those volcanoes. Have you ever seen a volcano spewing out white rocks over white lava? No. Have you ever seen a movie with a volcano doing pure, clear crystal lava? No. It's always the same. It always looks like. One second, please. This. Or this. When it's broken out into little smaller bits. Or even that. Always. You never see a movie with a different color rock next to the lava. It doesn't happen. So to think that they become these other rocks is impossible. So to start showing you kind of what I mean, here's a regular looking rock, right? Well, actually, that is a bone. This would have been right there on a creature. See these? Good luck. Look this up. This is. There's one fossil. So that's not too bad, right? Well, now you need to understand. Before the flood, we had a covering on the earth, and everything was much older, even according to the Bible and our tribes. And so things got much bigger. So when they say all these things are extinct now, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, it's kind of BS because it's just these creatures only live for a handful of years instead of hundreds of years like they were. And so we have had misunderstandings that they let you misunderstand to your own ignorance. I'm not saying you're stupid or anything. I'm just saying you didn't. Most people didn't understand that in the histories we knew these things were that and stuff. We knew these formations weren't just, oh, that's amazing that looks like a horse, or that looks like an eagle, or that looks like a frog, because that's what they are. Uh, and they're not extinct species. They're just the same species, but living hundreds of years and growing that way and stuff. Now we got bigger too, but not too much. And but there was, even according to my Cherokee Choctaw histories, giants that we had to contend with that were not human. They were human, and now, according to the Bible and to what I believe, they were the fallen angels' offspring with us, and they genetically mixed with them. They also genetically mixed the animals. That's why we have stories of sheep men, snake men, uh, all kinds of things. But they also mixed animals with each other. But I'm going to show you a couple interesting rocks. So here's another one. Now, when I was in school, that's when I first found out that all the dinosaur bones we've ever seen are painted. Not with a clear coat, but with a paint. And they say that it has to be painted like that because a lot of them have radiation on them and stuff like that. And that's not true. It's they don't want you to realize that all those bones of dinosaurs and everything like they're showing are actually made up of now the petrified remains of those things, but they will say minerals. So here is a mineral that is awfully, and this side's broken off because you gotta remember the flood also hit these and stuff like that, and they've been broken off. So this broken off, but isn't that awfully regular? Let's see. Well, looky there. See that line? It goes all the way to the broken part. So that would have been the mouth of this creature. And now you'll notice the different colored spots on it. Those look like rocks and stuff, right? Well, you gotta remember, reptiles want to blend into their environments, and so they, after a while, take on the characteristics. And so if this creature was a reptile, and it dealt with rocks in mountainous areas, then wouldn't its camouflage be to blend in? And so yes, they all look like just random different colored rocks, but those are scales. There's the eyeball. And okay, so one side's perfect, and one side's deformed. Well, you gotta imagine a 2-mile ocean sitting on this creature. So it's getting pressed down hard. So one side would be nice and smooth, protected by the water pushing down on it. The other side would be misshapen, sometimes deformed, sometimes broken up from the pressure that's putting on it while it sits on other rocks and they're crushing each other. And another example of that is, and here's where I want to talk about the giants again. So this, my friends, see that line? See how it goes? They're perfect. Now, where have we seen that shape before? Oh, I know. Your toes have nails on it. And you can still see where some of it won't. So as you got petrified, the different parts of your bodies would turn into different minerals. Some of them would be softer than others. In between my fingers, you see that white line? That's what's left of the nail mineral when it got to the human skin, or half human skin in this case. And on the back, or bottom, it's crushed and squeezed. Why? Because it was sitting like this, getting pushed down by millions of pounds of weight. Back here is the in and out veins, holes. So that's one, and you'll notice the color. I'll explain that later. Another one, in case you don't believe me. Like I said, if there were hundreds of them, thousands of them, millions of them, 20 digits each times that many million. It's a lot. So you shouldn't be surprised to be able to find these still. Now this one is white, of course, but again, you'll notice right here the outline of a very tiny nail right there. Now, which part of your body has such a tiny nail compared to the digit?